return to two different statements that you made that juxtaposed next to each other. I just thought maybe would be revealing. One was that you said that reality corrects my preconceptions. Mm-hmm. Right? That as you learn more, you have these preconceived ideas, they change as a result.
Right.
The other is the idea that when you describe the research that you've been doing and the findings, some of which you shared with us today, they are alarming, possibly to you and possibly to the people who are hearing about them. Certainly some of them alarmed me.
Yeah. No, the Western audience, like, that's crazy. These people are crazy. They often say things like, these people are crazy. And then I kind of think, actually, if you spent like 6 hours with them, you wouldn't think that they're crazy.
Yeah, so what is this relationship between feeling like your preconceptions are changed by more reality, more, let's say, field work, more talking to these people, and really learning about what motivates them, and the idea that what is happening as you do learn more is that things get even more alarming, and that they are even more surprising and possibly less reassuring.
Yes, I did have this one thing where I interviewed a really, really fancy Hagwon tutor, and she teaches SATs, and she's very private, and I talked to her, and she went to Harvard, and she worked at Goldman Sachs. And then now she's a Hagwon teacher, and she makes a lot of dough. And I was talking to, I really liked her. She was really kind of cool and fun, and if I had a kid who needed SAT tutoring, I could kind of see why I would hire her because she just seemed really relatable and kind of no nonsense. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, you went to Harvard and you're working at Goldman Sachs. And I said, and she had a baby, and I said, so did you send your daughter to Hagwon? And she said, yes. And because I had the data point already that 85% of 4-year-olds in South Korea start Hagwons, I was like, I kind of knew. I was like, maybe 4, maybe 5. But then again, she's a Hagwon teacher. Maybe she's kind of like, I'm so above this. I said, so when did you start your daughter? She said, age 2. And I was like, damn, seriously? And I said, and of course, I try to be, good ethnographer. And I said, for what? And she said, well, she was trying to get into a preschool. It was really hard to get into this preschool, so she had private consulting. And I said, okay, so see, like, this is a situation where I'm alarmed because I'm kind of thinking, you have your shit together. Why would you need this? And she doesn't need daycare because she has money. But she said it's because she had to get into a certain kind of preschool because this preschool is a feeder for a certain kindergarten. And so she had a 10-packet of a consultant who knew about this school, and it was like $60 a thing. And I said, so what did they do? And she said, well, you'll have, let's say, a pizza, kind of like a wooden pizza, and you cut out little sections, and you learn about percentages. And I was like, oh, okay. So, and also how to hold a writing implement. That was apparently something that people get tested on. So, but again, like if you hung out with her, you'd like her. So this is the thing I really want to make this a defense, because we have this tendency to say, that's crazy. Why would you do that? But you hang out with them, you're going like, yeah, I guess I could kind of see that.
Well, this process of moving from empathy to a real sense of alienation, like, I can't possibly imagine why someone would do that. That must be a really interesting process for you as a writer who, I think throughout your talk, you occupy both the position of speaking of Koreans as them, and also of representing an us.
Yes.
And of course, you are also working across national divides, like the Koreans in the United States and other nations,
right.
Diaspora Koreans versus the ones in Korea. And there is a very, for lots of people, a very stark divide.
LA Koreans
LA
are
Koreans
so different.
versus New York Koreans. And
oh my goodness, it's like different gangs.
And the kind of Koreans who get into schools like Harvard University, and their perceptions of the kinds of Koreans who, don't have what it takes to get here.
Or who don't
though
want to
they
come
might
here.
really work hard,
Right.
but we don't have the special, you don't have the special creativity and the innovation that Harvard University looks for in its selection process.